Hi. Uh, I'm here to talk about one thing. I've been watching I was watching a video 2 seconds ago. Literally, I just turned it off to come talk about it, and it involved one of my favorite animes, and a manga that I am not touching till I finish collecting it. Well, I don't mean by not touching it. I mean not reading it. Okay, I don't mean not read it. I mean not skim over not properly read it. It's this. Love the anime. The anime is fucking brilliant. It was one of the first anime I ever watched. I went from Demon Slayer. I went from this to this. How the fuck does that happen? Don't know, but it worked. And the most I can say about it is that it's fucking amazing. Now, the reason why I'm making this video is because it pointed out one thing one of the two things that makes me not like the show. Two scenes. There's one character and one scene. Other than those two things, the show was perfect. The one scene happens in episode 20. And this is one of the more tamer moments of Komi Can't Communicate. It's very fucking funny. The show is very funny. But the moment is they're all on holiday. They're all on a school trip and they're out in the middle of the woods. They go to take a bath. Now, Komi Can't Communicate is very horny. Alright? We'll get more into that with the character we'll talk about. But in this moment, they all go take a bath. And Agari, who's very self-conscious about her body and very weird, says, like, I got made fun of and people said my tits look like meatballs. So when she flashed Komi and can't remember her name, they weren't meatballs. No, they weren't melons. Made him self-conscious, and it flat out, I thought I was going to be watching High School DxD again, which I really fucking hate with a burning passion. Literally, I felt like we were going to flat out just see boob or pussy. Genuinely, it fucking was weird. I hated it. Once that scene ended, it went back to normal, and I loved it. That's the problem. That's one of my. Other than that, that scene is the only flat out bad scene that I hate. Now, there's one character in this series that I absolutely hate. I will go back into talking very good about it once I finish this. And it's a character I want to bury under a prison. Her name is Renya Mai. The reason why I want to bury her under a prison is because I have her introduction episode. I believe this is in this volume. Yes, it is. It is very tame in the anime. Now, Komi Can't Communicate is a very nice slice of life. It's very funny, very light-hearted. Episode 1 and 2, you've got Komi, you get the idea of the plot, which is very basic. Komi wants to make 100 friends. She has this dude, Tadno, is the only one that can communicate with her properly because he learned that she can write and talk through writing and has social anxiety. Took people 15 years to work out she has social anxiety. That's out of the question. The episode in question is episode 3, where it talks about a topic that is very weird, very dark, and one that shouldn't be joked about, but it does it. You got here just a normal day with Komi and that. And then you've got the normal. Yeah. Then you've got the normal Tadano shit. Where it's like, Tadano is an ordinary high school student. And he just introduces himself, which it happens a lot in the series. But it's also why I love it, because if you forget a character's name, they will reintroduce themselves and tell them what their issue is. Literally just like, I'm an ordinary high school student. I'm so ordinary that when I jaywalk, when no cars are coming, I feel a thrill at the minor infraction. What isn't normal about me is that the prettiest girl in school is my friend. Then you get the panel, and in the episode, the moment where this random person just comes up behind him. Ominous as hell, screen goes dark, grabs him. You don't see him. Then immediately cuts to a new character introducing herself called Ren Yamai. This bitch. Fucking hate her. I fucking hate her. I'm not. The only part of the manga I'm not looking forward to is her. She's the only reason I fucking hate the show. She's the only one of the only bits that I fucking hate about the show. It's one of the bits I fucking hate about it. But other than that, I love it. I recommended it to someone the other day, and I said, yeah, you'll absolutely love it. Bear in mind, you'll want to bury someone under a prison. They went, really? I went, yes. Trust me, you will. And they went, okay, I'll give it a go. I went, alright, I'll give it a go. And what's interesting, because it starts off with, it cuts to her, and you're immediately like, where's Tadano? What's she done with Tadano? It then immediately goes into her stalking Komi, essentially. Showing she has a crush on Komi, which is fine. 90%. One of the pros of Komi can't communicate that would be seen as a con is with that she has a crush on Komi. I will explain that with when I start the pros bit. She ends up following behind her, talking about how great she is. Practically has a fucking orgasm right there. Genuinely, practically having an orgasm at just the sight of her. Her hair falls off, and she starts licking it, practically ingesting it. So she goes to go talk to Komi, and then Agari comes in, and it's interacting with Komi and being a dog, which, hey, that's her choice, and pop, Komi can't communicate. And she's like, she gives Agari a death stare, literally a full death stare, like she's going to actively kill him. Kill her. Ugh. Kill her, not him. So she ends up. So Agari runs away. And then Yamai's like, fine, fuck you, you bitch, I'll fucking. Alright, let's go talk to Komi. And then Najimi jumps in and is like, hey, Komi. Being really friendly. And then Yamai's like, hey, what the fuck? Can I speak to you privately? And in their interaction in the anime, it's like, what the heck is wrong? Why the hell did you do that? I was trying to speak to Komi. You, like, why would you do that? Why would you stop me? And Najimi's like, didn't know you wanted to. It's like, she responds with, don't care, you should have known. How dare you introduce me to her now? In this, she actively tells her, fuck you. I'm bad at this. There, says it right there. literally actively threatens her. And then when she finally says hello to Komi, Komi's then like trying to touch Komi. And it's like being really creepy about it, and it's fucking weird. I fucking hate it. God, I'm reading it as it is now, and I'm genuinely like, ugh. And she's sitting Tadano's desk, which Komi's like a little unsettled about. No one can understand Komi because Tadano's the only one that can translate her. Also known as, he's the only one that can tell what she's feeling based on what she looks like. And this entire bit, you don't know what Komi's feeling. Because Tadano's not there. When Tadano's not there, sorry, my books are a bit out. Literally, when Tada's not there, you can't understand what Komi's feeling because the background changes. It's just the normal slice. It's just the normal day to day. Komi's not going full chibi eye, having the big googly eyes, having the full range of emotions. She's just there, being her normal self. With Tadano, she's very rarely her normal self. You see her with big googly eyes and cat ears. Canonical that she has cat ears. One of the pros. We'll talk about that in a minute. But Yamai is sat in Tadano's desk, and Tadano's like, then Yamai's seeing a little Tadano on his desk, being like, "You got this. You can do it." When Yamai asks her for lunch, asks Komi for lunch, Komi nods, finally showing some bravery. Now we as the audience know something's a bit off with her. Najmi knows there's something a bit off with her. Komi then starts to realise, once she nods, jumps out of her desk actively screaming, "Yes!" So then they have lunch together. And actively packed too much lunch, so make them fucking eat it. Just before that, though, I just remembered this because I just turned the page. As Yamai leaves before lunch happens, Najmi looks in Tadano's seat and goes, "Where is he? Wait, he's not here?" I don't know what she's thinking. They start thinking what's going on. She's thinking, Tadano, help. You then cut back to Tadano. Where this doesn't feel like the slice of life anymore. It's been fucking kidnapped. Like, he's actively been kidnapped. Yamai fucking kidnapped him, knocked him out, trapped him in a cupboard. Actually, no, in a wardrobe. With pictures of Komi all around her room. Tadano's shitting himself. He's like, what's gonna happen? Cut back to school, and Najimi's like, hey, can we go around yours after school? He's like, yeah, sure. Yeah, sure, my room's a bit messy, so when you get there, I just need to quickly clean up. I'm like, no problem. Najmi asks, can Komi come too? Yamai's jumping at the reaction, going, yes! You then like, okay, Komi's won, she's made a new friend. But she's got Tadano. Cuts back to Tadano going, it's evening, I haven't eaten, I haven't drunken. This man's been trapped, duct tape over his mouth, tied to a fucking chair. You then see Yamai enter back in the room. Tadano's absolutely fucking shitting himself. Like, he's genuinely like, fuck, this is bad, what the fuck's gonna happen? Yamai just walks past him and asks him one simple question. Which do you prefer, the beach or the mountains? Simple questions. And he says, muffles through the duct tape, mountains. And Yamai casually, in her nice voice, going, alright, I'll bury you there. What the fuck? This is a slice of life. When I first watched watching this, I was like, what the fuck? But you're so used to it, you're thinking, Aaron, this is a joke. It's gotta be a joke. It's not a joke, it's a full. She's kidnapped him. So she stuffs him in the cup in a wardrobe, saying, you do not move. If you move, there is a mountain behind my house. Not far from here, I will bury you there. I will kill you and bury you there. So Tadano's actively moving around in the cupboard, trying to make some noise so that they know he's there, because Yamai and Najimi and Komi are now in her fucking room. And Yamai's trying to play it off that's the neighbours. And Yamai's like, oh, I'll go make you some tea to try and, I don't know, sell the mood so that they don't think she's weird. Bit difficult already. So she goes makes tea and she actively says, don't open the wardrobe, okay? But she doesn't say it like that. She goes, don't open the wardrobe. Essentially, like, she's holding a knife to their fucking throat, going, don't open that wardrobe. Which is the gun? This is a BB gun. Before YouTube flags me, this is a BB gun. BB. No, BB's in there. Not real. Actively going like, don't open that wardrobe. In the most menacing way. So Najimi being Najimi, second she leaves the room, goes, I'm gonna open that wardrobe. Opens it, finds Tadano, and instead of being like, oh shit, the fuck? She's like, okay, some kind of kinky shit you two into? Tadano's immediately like, no, I'm being fucking kidnapped. Yamai comes back. She's like, oh dear, you found him. Now in the anime, she comes back with chopsticks. Metal chopsticks that are sharpened. That she uses that she intends to use to threaten her and potentially kill her. And potentially killed. In manga, as I'm reading now, I've seen this 2 or 3 times before. It's a full butcher's knife. It's a full kitchen knife. She fucking intends to fully kill them. Like, no threatening it. She goes from threatening to, Komi, I love you so much. You're the best person in the world, and I think we should be together. We should have lesbian sex. Like, what the fuck? And then she just asks, you want to be my friend? Holding the knife at them, tilts her head, beads her eyes, giving them a death stare, going, right? You're thinking, what the fuck? The fuck? No. Komi unties her. Kami unties Tadno, looks around for a fucking place to write. Because she's got a notebook and a pen with her so she can talk, so she can communicate via writing. Sorry, Beastars is a lot longer than normal manga volumes. Than my other manga volumes. Oh, Jesus Christ, that's fucking with my head. And then literally unties Tadno, looks for a place to write, and to say thank you for letting us visit, to be nice. And then as she's walking out, Yamai says, I did this for you. She then gets out a notebook and tries to looks for another place to write, but she couldn't be bothered. So she writes on the floor and said, and writes, I decide who's my friend. And then walks out. I'll be honest, that's a very cold line. I love it. Yamai's then there and she's like, she won't even speak to me. She must hate me. Trying to rationalize it while laughing maniacally. English. No wonder it failed. And she's like, she's breaking down, laughing into crying. And it's like, this is twisted, this is fucked. For a slice of life, this is mental. And the dumbest thing happens. Najimi's just trapped in the room. Najimi didn't escape. So your mind then wonders, like, is she dead? The fuck's gonna happen? Cuts the next day. Todd knows that, and he's the only one that can translate what Komi's feeling. Just by looking at her and going, that's what you feel. That's what you feel. Alright, cool. This is 22 minutes long. Jesus Christ. No, 23. Now it's 23. And Komi's just actively like, writes on a notepad, I need to talk to you. So they go to the stairs. She writes, are you okay with being my friend? He's like, yeah. And she writes, you had a hard time yesterday. You got kidnapped and Yamai said she did it because of me. And she flips around her notebook and shows that she wrote down everything that was fucking said. Like, that's the mental part. She writes, you were in danger because of me. And Tadna goes, no, that's not true. Komi just actively is like, it is true. What if Osana hadn't? What if Najimi hadn't found you? What if Yamai had done worse? What if that happens again? It's my fault. So maybe I shouldn't be your friend. She actively clenched her notebook and is like, she's actively like, this is the hardest thing I've had to do. She's actively like, this is the hardest thing I will ever do. Because Tadna was the first person that was ever to understand that she has a communicating disorder. And it's mental. She's actively breaking down, being like, this is my friend, I don't want to lose him, but why is volume 18 higher than the rest? Yeah, that's actively like breaking down, being like, I don't want to lose you. And Tadna's like, I decide who my friends are. Pulling the same line on her. Making her also feel a bit worse, but also better. Her being the idiot is like, no, not like that, not like that. Like, Komi wrote, I'm sorry. And she actually speaks. She actually says words. Says, but I still want to be your friend. Someone with severe social anxiety, to the point where she vibrates because she's shaking that much because she can't speak to someone. Actively tells him, I want to be a friend. I want to stay your friend. I want to be your friend. And it's beautiful. And it's actively, Tadano's like, I want to be your friend too. Let's stay friends. And you go from this very nice, touching, heartwarming scene after this nightmare of an episode, or 2 chapters, into Najimi breaking it and going, hey there, Yamai wants to apologize. Yamai gives the most bitch-ass apology you will ever fucking see. The most bitch-ass apology you'll ever see. She's like, yeah, I'm really sorry. I did that. I didn't mean to. And they're like, Tadano's like, well, that was a shit apology. Bear in mind, I started this at midnight. It is 12:35. I should really get to bed. I'll do that later. She's like, oh yeah, I'm really sorry. Gives the most bitch-ass apology instead of being like, I feel terrible for what I've done, and actively being proper sincere about it. She goes like, yeah, I'll never do it again. I'm sorry. And she actively pulls out the knife and the knife / chopstick she was holding to threaten them, and says, I have no reason to keep living. And threatens to kill herself. Like, actively threatening to ram her knife into her fucking skull. And then actively Tadano actively says, Komi's not good at talking. She's not good at socializing. Pointing a knife at Tadano goes, that's not possible. And Tadano fully explains in full what she has. The fact that she struggles with talking to people because of her social anxiety. Yamai's like, that's adorable. You want to make 100 friends? That's fucking adorable. That's amazing. And then Yamai says, it's like, do you want to be friends? And come out. And Tadano asks, well, it's your decision. Dumbest decision in the entire fucking... I think this is the worst frame and the worst panel in the entire series that I know of so far. Komi says, okay, let's be friends. And then she derails the entire fucking show. And she derails half the fucking show. Whenever she's not in it, scenes are beautiful. Beautiful. They couldn't be better. And then when she appears, she's like, oh, you're fucking shit. I mean, this bitch is back. Fuck. I have spent half an hour ranting about the bad parts of Komi. Let's rant about the good parts. That is just one episode and one scene. Stand Goku back up. Let's talk about the good. Now, the good is what makes this my favorite anime, the comedy. Now, what I just talked about is the one bad aspect of the trope that is used in this. And you may have noticed it was the perv trope. And it is used in most manga. Whether it's MHA, with the worst character being Minoru Mineta. Mineta is the worst fucking character because he's a perv. I have a very loose understanding of Chainsaw Man. I intend on watching the anime and finishing them and reading the manga. But to my understanding, Denji wants to touch boobs. I know there's a deeper meaning to that, but I don't know. You've got definitely my favorite manga of all time and one of my favorite animes. The manga destroys the anime for me, but that's a video for a different time. But those two they all have something in common. Dan is slightly the same, but it's not as bad. Demon Slayer has it a lot worse. Zenitsu is a prominent character, but he has that one trope. Perv. Now, depending on who you give the character, who you give it to, and when you give it to them, it can be good or it can be horrible. 90% of the time, it is horrible. It's in One Piece with Sanji. Sanji is not that. Yes, he has that trope, but he's not unbearable. He has a likable character. He has a very lovable backstory, and he has a reason for it. It's not justifiable, though. The trope is terrible. This shouldn't exist. Aoi Todo in Jujutsu Kaisen has it, but he does it in one of the best ways. The perv trope in anime is used in Komi Communicate in one of the best ways I've ever fucking seen. You establish that Komi can't talk, but she's the most popular person in the universe. Not because she's great at being not because she's like talking to people, not because she's actively interacting with people using a notebook. No, it's because she's hot. In the first episode of the anime, they establish this, and they use it perfectly. And they use it in a way that makes it perfect. Komi goes to sit down. This is part of a cat toy. This is part of a dog toy. My dog wrecked it, and now I use it as a slight lasso / whip. And if I wanted to, I could put my kunai through there. Just weapon. Back onto this. You meet Komi and the anime starts and the manga starts with the same bit. The term communication disorder describes a clutter of symptoms that cause people to experience difficulty interacting with others. Those suffering from this disorder may appear unfriendly, but the truth is, they actually want to have relationships. Oh wait, no. While they appear standoffish, They actually want to have relationships. Shows that there is a lot of different people that are very weird and very different. Komi is one. It's the main plot point of this. Make 100 friends. But he can't, but he struggled to talk. And in this first page, this doesn't happen in the anime, but you have one that is very interesting. All the characters and all their disorders. Atari is easygoing. Atari. Oh, hi, bitch. She's the bitch that's always high. Agari is nervous. Natsuno is enthusiastic. Like, she's got this superiority complex, but she's like, I will not lose. Naka is, like, literally a fantasy character. She's actively like, yo, I love this. Katai is hardcore, but struggles to communicate that he's literally just a teddy bear. Najimi is genuinely the most sociable person. Naruse is a complete dick and thinks he's the best person alive. And Yamai is Yamai. You then get introduced to Tadano. They explain that he's quite timid and he wants to have an ordinary school life. He doesn't want to do anything wrong. He's already got a bad reputation with doing things wrong, which never is explained in the anime. Like they say like, oh yeah, he's done bad things, but no one recognizes him for it. And he's like, I'll blend in with the crowd. I won't stand out. I will be invisible. He goes to put stuff in his locker. And he sees someone standing next to him. And he's like, someone's standing next to me. I must say hello. And we must be in the same class. So I'll try and make a friend before I get in there. He bumps into Komi. Actively, he's like, oh my gosh, she's fucking gorgeous. He's way too hot. But Komi turns around, gives him a practical death stare, and then dashes off. And he sees her name is Komi. He's like, what happened there? And he hasn't realized that Komi didn't say a word. And he didn't realize that Komi hasn't said a word yet. Not I do. So he then goes to sit down and is like, why did she react like that? Oh well. I'll find out later. He goes to sit down and is like, right, time to blend in with the crowd and begin my ordinary life. He sits next to her. He finds his desk and it's right next to her. And everyone's eyes are on her. On Komi. And this is where the trope kicks in. Because everyone's like, if he dies, I'll get his seat. That way he can be next to her. And everyone else is like, we're going to kill him. We're going to kill him so we can get bigger him. It's done in a weird way that makes it funny. Now every other trope tries to do it and tries to make it funny. It's not. Trying to think, is it in Bleach? No, it's not. Everyone's just kind of hot. Where I am, Yoruichi just turned into a human form and was naked. And Ichigo wasn't like having a nosebleed over the fact that she's hot. He was like, put some fucking clothes on you, bitch. Also, you were a cat 2 seconds ago. But it's done in a way that is brilliant. And you get introduced to a couple of people. You get to meet Gary, and now Gary's like, "It's nice to meet you. I'm scared out of my fucking mind." You might like, "Don't worry, don't worry." And then teacher's like, "Next," and it goes to Komi. Now Komi stands up, doesn't say a word. She steps away from her desk. She takes one step towards the board, takes another, dashes over the board, writes her name down, and everyone's cheering. She's like, "Yeah!" Tadano's the only one that's like, "Huh? Fuck just happened?" Yeah, everyone's still like, "Yeah, she's the most popular girl in school, let's go." He's the only one that's starting to realize she's not speaking. Teacher's like, "Next." Tadano stands up and he's like, "I'm looking forward to this." Sorry. Stands up and he's like, "I'm really looking forward to this year. Let's have a good year. I'm really good at reading the room." Everyone's giving him a death stare like, "Shut the fuck up, you're not." And then you realise my high school life has ended. Then, cuts some writing, and Komi drops a rubber. Tadano picks it up and goes to give it to Komi. This man dressed up as a ninja fires a fucking compass at his hand for trying to give her back a rubber. Trying to kill him. It's like, if I don't return it fast, he'll kill me. That's how popular she is. Everyone's trying to kill him just so they can be closer to him. To her. Which is mental, but it's funny. It's done in a way that makes it funny. I don't know how, but I can't describe it, but if you watch it, it makes sense. See, that is done in a way that makes it brilliant. It's very difficult to describe, but it's done in a way that is really funny. Komi looks towards him as if to be like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?" Tadano looks away, it's like, "I didn't see anything." He then gets knocked out because everyone's trying to rush to Komi for lunch. He then wakes up on his desk. And he wakes up and he's hearing a voice. It's Komi next to him. Being like, "Why can't I talk to people? Why do I struggle so much to say words to people? I want to be friends." Actively says meow. She's got a cat doll in her desk. She also has cat ears. That is very funny, very weird, but it's never explained. But it's canonical to the universe that everyone else can see it. She just gains cat ears, like she gets really happy about something. Cat ears. Doesn't get explained. Love it. Tadano wakes up and he's like, "Everyone's in the gym." He then immediately says, "I didn't hear anything." Komi dashes off, being like, "You heard me say that. Fuck. I'm now nervous." He then tries to stop her, being like, no, how do I make this better? I've noticed you're not good at talking to people." She turns around, tries to talk to him, writes on the board, and it's like, how do you know I'm not good at talking to people? And he's like, well, I just sensed it and noticed you weren't speaking to anyone. Just like, I have severe social anxiety. I am not very good at, I've never been able to properly talk to someone or have a conversation. He's like, well, why not have one? Well, we're having one now. And then he's just like, thank you for your time. See you. So then he starts writing the board, going, what are your goals? She says, she writes, I want to make 100 friends. By the end, I want to make 100 friends. Her lifelong goal is to make 100 friends, not to be popular, not to gain money, not to just be themselves and learn who they are, learn who she is. Just make 100 friends. And then Tadna goes, well, why don't I be your first? And then they talk for about, in universe, probably an hour, maybe 2. But it's shown in this montage of them writing on the board, rubbing it out, and then writing more. And it starts to show this friendship that could potentially turn into romance, depending on how it goes. And that's the first episode. It then cuts to them, to the narrator going, this may be Komi's first friend, but this is going to be a very long and difficult road for Komi, as there are some very weird people in this school. Then each episode follows the same formula. Explain that that Komi has severe social anxiety and that she wants to make friends. The reason why it's my favorite anime is because it's hilarious. Each character is unique and has their own problems. One of the episodes is titled Just a Country Girl. And it's literally Komi goes to this venue and this country girl's there. But she doesn't want to admit she's from the country because she's worried people will judge her. She admits to Komi that she's from the country. Komi doesn't give a shit. She's like, cool, good for you. And this chick's like, oh my god, you accept me for who I am. You really are the best. Why does that look off in the shelf? I saw that in the morning. And it's like, thank you for accepting me. What I am. And then goes on with her life, and you never see her again. You don't see her again. You'll see her in the background, but you never get her rest of her explained. And then you cut to. And then there's another episode where you meet Katai. Now, Katai, he walks around, he looks menacing as hell. But he just wants to make friends. He just doesn't want people to be intimidated by him because of, like, his stature and how he acts. And also, he's kind of gay for Tadano. And sees Komi as a master. It's like, you are the peak of popularity. You are the master of popularity. You are the best person in this school. But I think the one episode that captures it, the comedy for me and the story, is the maid cafe. I don't say that because I like maids. No, I say that because it's done right. It's Komi at its peak. Now, the way it's done is they're trying to come up with an idea for a fundraiser. Every class is doing it. They're all doing their own thing. And they think, maid cafe. The class is mostly girls. Why not go maid cafe? Najimi takes it a bit too far. She uses Komi as bait, being like, alright, Komi, go for a lap around this school and come back. She leaves. Everyone in the restaurant leaves. She comes back. That group of people that left tripled in size, if not quintupled. And it's mental. And it is absolutely insane. But that's not just the only episode that I love. Valentine's Day episode is amazing because you get to see Tadano and Komi have proper interactions and see their love blossom. Now, throughout the series, you see these two interact and you're like, oh, will they, won't they, will they, won't they, will they, won't they? And it's like Ross and Rachel from Friends. It's a case of, will they, won't they, will they, won't they, will they, won't they? Yet in Friends, it's different. But this is a case of, it will, but when? Or will they? Well, they will. Will they? But with the Valentine's Day, you're like, okay, yeah, this is it. They're going to fully express their love. Neither of them do. She gives Tadano a box of chocolates. And Tadano thanks her. And there's a bunch more bits in the episode before that. The entire episode is Komi trying to give Tadano this basket full of chocolates to be nice. And it is absolutely beautiful, that scene. Because then they go to the park and they just chill. They just be themselves. They just interact. And this is amazing. The thing with Comic Con Communicate is the fact that it uses problems that people have, like social anxiety, the fact that people can be too enthusiastic, the fact that people will be afraid to show their true nature, whether they look too menacing but they want to be popular. It banks on the idea that everyone's different and has their own problems, and it makes you want to go, I am different. That's okay, I can be popular. And it does it in the best way. And the ending episode is Komi and Tadano going to finishing the year and being like, crazy year. We'll probably be in separate classes, but we can still be friends. We can still be, and we can still be happy. And you'll make new friends. You've managed to do most of them, make most of them without me. Without my help. You'll be able to make the rest without me. The series and the anime ends on that. 24 episodes. Still waiting for the rest of it. Probably never going to happen, which is very unfortunate because I love the series. That ends volume. That's 12. Volume 10. This is where the anime ends. Everything I've talked about happens in the first 10 volumes. Now in the manga, they do end up in the same classroom. Just Tadano's not sat next to her. And they're both worried about each other, worried about whether they whether they can talk to people, and what Tadano's worried about whether Komi will be able to explain to people, whether Komi will be able to explain that she's got trouble speaking to people as new people enter the classroom. And that's the most I know of the story. Now, the manga has ended. I did read the last chapter. Chapter 499. Why it ended on 499, I will never know. But the mangaka, Tomohito Oda, said that it will be continued in the next volume. The last volume I have is 30. Now, I know there's 33. And I reckon we go to volume 40. Now, I have done the math. We do actually go to volume 40. It does go to volume 40. Now, in that volume, we'll have what's left of Komi can Communicate, what he teased in the last bit. Now, in the last chapter, Tadano's not with Komi, and he's like, this has been an amazing bit of my life, and I can't wait to live the rest of it. There will be ups and downs, but I can say I've had fun with what I've done so far. Thank you for making an amazing year, and have a nice day. And it's very good, but not the best. And then it cuts to Komi saying hi to a bunch of her friends. Then the chapter ends. Which is stupid. Flat out just stupid. I hate that. I hated it. I destroyed the loop. But yeah, that is Komi Can't Communicate. An absolutely amazing series about disorders, making friends, being popular. How it doesn't take much to be popular, to be someone, to make friends, to be happy. Whether you're socially awkward, whether you've got any problems, whether you're disabled, whether you're gay, whether you're bisexual, whether you're fucking God, where you live, doesn't matter. You can be popular. You can achieve your goal and make friends. You can be someone. And that's what I took away from it. Whether you take away the same thing, who knows? But that's been today's video. 58 minutes and about 40 seconds of me talking about Komi Can't Communicate. If you liked it, good for you. If you want to see more, then follow me, then subscribe. If you don't, oh well, I tried. See you in the next one.